Jewell Capels, the lady of death row, passed away at the age of 53. She was robbed of so much. She was robbed of her proper credit and getting the notoriety of legendary status.
Claiming. Niggas be false claiming. Niggas be false claiming on the game. I seen niggas change over change. Bitch left broke nigga for a rich nigga. Get money, dog. That's the...
What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I'm back with another video. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel if you are not new. I just want to jump right into this video. I was scrolling on social media and I saw that Jewell Capels passed away. So today we will be talking about her life, her legacy, and her untimely death. Shout out to the subscriber that sent me numerous articles about Jewell Capels and what happened to her for me to do this video. So shout out to Lakeisha. I'm happy to say that she was covered on this channel before her untimely passing. I came across an interview of hers and automatically I was interested in what she had to say in her story. In every clip that I watched, she kept it real on everything that was discussed, including Danny Boy running his mouth about them sleeping together when he was underage, her time at death row, and the alleged scandal that was going on behind the scenes of the very notorious record label. Jewell Capels was a voice that was heard right as death row began to rise to fame and notoriety. She laid down vocals for The Chronic. She laid down vocals for Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style album. And both of those albums put death row on as one of the first record labels to fully introduce gangster rap. The Chronic was released in 1992, and just a few short months later, it began to climb the music charts in 1993. The Chronic spent 8 months on the Billboard Top 10. In late 1993, Death Row released Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style album, which featured Jewell Capels frequently. This album, on record, is Snoop Dogg's best-selling album. So not only is Death Row considered one of the first to introduce gangster rap, they are one of the first labels to incorporate women into what a lot of people would call a man's field. In my opinion, the tracks that Jewell Capels was on and the Lady of Rage was on, mishandled, it balanced out the music for sure. And that way it serves two different demographics. It serves to teenagers, it serves to women, it serves to men of different races and things like that. Death Row had mishandled for vocals very early on. They had the Lady of Rage, which was one of the first female rappers to get put on, especially in the West Coast. And then we have Mrs. Jewell. She was signed to Death Row starting in 1992, so her time at Death Row roughly ended around 1996 and 1997. Jewell, along with many other artists signed to Death Row, began to leave the label because of legal issues and financial problems, all caused by Suge Knight himself. She recalls her time at Death Row saying that she wasn't appreciated. She wasn't at all the first lady of Death Row because she would have been shown a lot more respect and was underpaid, even if we're talking about royalties. Long-term payment for the work that she put in for Death Row and many artists on Death Row. And not even just that, she stated that she wrote a lot, if not all, of the lyrics that she put into those songs. You know, unlike Danny Boy saying that he was never paid for certain things, which is debatable, Jewell Capels was very honest and saying, yeah, I got a flat fee. You know what I'm saying? I got a flat fee for doing this song or doing that song, but I was never paid royalties. There was like a monthly allowance, if you want to call it that, of $2,500. But when you are on songs and albums that have sold over 6 million copies, 2,500 is not equaling out to, it's nowhere near the amount of almost 7 million copies sold worldwide. After walking away from death row, 1997 to 1998 is when death row really went downhill. You know, a lot of people felt used and they were being used. That's just the sad reality to it. Suge Knight didn't see the importance or the value in anybody. And think about it. He didn't even see the value in Tupac because he had Tupac sitting in the passenger seat. That's way too open. But I digress about that. So after walking away from death row to make ends meet and do what she had to do, she worked at Walmart for a time, but she has still released music over the years, and that's good to see that just because her career was mishandled and was under the power of somebody with a brain the size of a peanut, it didn't take her pride and her joy away from creating music, because a lot of people stop. A lot of people stop doing music as a whole. Now we will talk about Miss Jewell's health. In an interview done about a year ago, Jewell spoke honestly about the up and downs that she faces in her health. And a video was uploaded 2 days after her death by the Art of Dialogue channel, where she revealed a few years ago that a doctor told her that she only had 6 months to live. It was a very chilling video because she was saying it as her kids were in the room with her and they had no idea that she had gotten that diagnosis so long ago. She revealed that she has been close to death around 4 or 5 times. One time when she was in the checkout line at Walmart, her heart stopped. That video showed so much strength for the possible time that she has left, for the possible time that she would have left. She seemed very optimistic, but I say that this video showed so much strength and fear at the same time. Again, strength as far as being optimistic about time. Anybody can tell you you got 2 months to live, this many weeks to live, etc. But it's all about how you go about it. And if you start to take care of yourself more and have a better outlook on it, on your health and on life as a whole, Lord knows how much time you really have left. So I definitely say it shows strength, but it showed fear of the unknown. It showed her fear of the unknown, and it shook me because none of us know how long we have left. Your body failing you and your body starting to get weaker and weaker is something that resonates with me, is something that I've been through. And Jewell Capels being honest about it and going into detail, it should be a wake-up call for not just people around her age. It should be a wake-up call for people that's around my age too. If you don't take care of yourself, doctors and physicians, they will tell you the lifespan of an African American is not that long, and we're not even talking about gun violence involved. We're not talking about black on black violence that ends in fatalities. We're not talking about nothing that we cause on each other, but that just occurs within us as we get older. I feel like in our 20s and in our 30s, we have to just really take good care of ourselves so that we can live on to our 60s and 70s and 80s. So since being honest about her health battles in interviews, Jewell began updating her friends and fans via social media. With an uplifting spirit, she wrote about how glad she was to be out of the hospital after being hospitalized in March of this year. She shared that she had 8 pounds of fluid removed from her heart and her lungs, and that she was in good spirits. Now, only 2 months after being hospitalized, she was hospitalized yet again in May of 2022, and she passed away shortly after that. And around 5 o'clock in the morning on May 6, 2022, Jewell Capels, the lady of death row, passed away at the age of 53. Now, it really is a shame that she was robbed of so much. And we're not even just talking about finances. She was robbed of her proper credit and getting the notoriety of legendary status. And it makes me think of how grateful artists should be in this time, because things are so public. You can literally come out publicly and say your truth of a record label not wanting to let you go, or a record label stealing hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars from you, and you can really take it to court now. Back in the day, going to court was a very extreme measure. Now, a lot of things can be tracked back in receipts of who actually put the work in and what a person is owed. But back then, it was very hard to get what you were owed going that route by taking it to court. I think that a lot of artists back then, they had a lot of hope that things would turn around and even out, and it never did. And it's a shame that it's a lot of artists that was on death row that will never get what they're owed. Now, it is a good thing that Snoop Dogg has control over the label and he bought it. But honestly, if you're going to start over with a whole new roster and not even try or attempt to give anybody their credit and their residuals, I don't even really think it's right to even bring Death Row back. Yes, it would be a great opportunity for a new artist, but if things don't get evened out for the original roster, it's just not gonna go right. Snoop Dogg has the power now to make it a label without all the messiness, you know, without all of the shystiness. And it's sad that she can't see it or she can't get it physically anymore, but her kids can. So it's your girl B. Octavia. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see y'all in my next video.